The next stage of RuneScape 3 has been announced in today's update news from the developers. Of course, it's the developer diary, and we have a brand new skill coming to RuneScape confirmed in 2023. So I'm absolutely hyped. We'll get into all of the news that you need to know about this new update, and of course, the kind of timeline of what we're hoping to be seeing within the next stage of development within the game. So, of course, you may already know about this. Leave your comments as to what you think about the whole thing, and even if you're watching this with me, of course, let me know what you think about everything, because ultimately we're the ones that have to play this game, so it's always interesting. So without further ado, what do we have? Well, in 2022 we'll be looking at new master maxcapes, and of course this will be basically something like where you can get 120 in every single stat. So imagine if you had, I don't know, 4.8 bill XP, or it might even be like 5.2 at this point. But essentially, once you've reached the maximum amount of XP in every single skill, maybe you'll be seeing the Master Maxcape, or alternatively, it will just be for players that have reached level 120 in every single statistics in the game, which will be massive because ultimately you'll be getting some sort of Master Maxcape. You'll get some sort of glow, I expect, but they'll be released at least sometime before the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these are actually going to look like. But not only that, we're getting a new skilling location, and the new skilling location is going to be pretty interesting because it could be basically anywhere. We're also getting retro overrides, ninja strikes, and a new Jagex launcher, so an actual game client essentially. And of course, up here, we've got the Lord of Chaos quest and boss battle that has already been released in the game. We've got the Wilderness Reborn and Daughter of Chaos that has also been introduced in the game. This came in the form of the whole wilderness being changed from a PvP area to a PVM area, but also introducing the risk. But then we've also got the Wilderness Flash events, which seem to be the next on Jagex's hit list, and we'll be seeing those in October. So I'm looking forward to actually jumping into the wilderness and playing some high-tier, high-risk PVM. So this could be very interesting to see what loot and what rewards you can get out of the Wilderness Flash events. You can see here the picture being that of something like the KBD. Maybe it's a upgraded version of the KBD that drops some extra stuff, and I expect that, as with the actual random events that happen in the wilderness where you just get randomly jumped upon by about 10 different mobs, well, maybe we'll be seeing a similar sort of thing with these events where they just crop up randomly in certain areas along the wilderness, and you can essentially take part in them and get some cool little gear. Of course, they'll probably be very difficult for you to complete, and I'm assuming that they will be like high-level Slayer creatures, so we'll be seeing that. But as far as how much news Jagex have actually released on this, they haven't said much, but they will be saying that it is in October, so get ready for that. And obviously we've then got the Zamorakian Civil War mini quest series that's also coming out, so you'll be seeing mini quests getting released, and then the Daughter of Chaos finale quest that will also come out in the next few months, I would expect. So what else do we have? Let's talk more about what this new skill is and what 2023 actually has planned for us. So Jagex have released that in 2023 there will be changes to the def cost and Grand Exchange tax update. So in this, of course, we all know if you've played any high-tier PVM, or at least if you own items that are actually worth anything, and pretty much every single high-tier gear item is worth so much now that your def cost can end up being so high that if you're trying to learn a boss, it completely puts you right off. You can spend millions and millions and millions every single time you die in RuneScape, which is just a complete deterrent from going for some of the higher tier content that Jagex keep releasing. So it's really, really going to be good for the average player for just being able to actually play the game enjoyably without having to worry about the fact that you're going broke when trying to learn some of these methods that can make you a billionaire. So yeah, it's such a random thing. I think that this has kind of been so outweighed in terms of how much the def cost is on the higher end, where you have to buy things that are top tier gear, that it's just such an amount of money that it is going to change. And of course, that's what Jagex are trying to do, trying to reduce how much of an impact this is going to have. And that's obviously one of the best things that they can do. So not only that, we've also got a Grand Exchange tax update. So obviously, on the Grand Exchange, we basically have the ability to buy and sell on whatever we want. But Jagex are going to introduce a tax on the Grand Exchange. Of course, this curbs inflation as in real life, and that essentially allows you to reduce how much things are going to flow up. So you're seeing Party Hatch reaching 50 billion GP. You're seeing loads of different items just go through the roof, and hopefully this will combat that. I'm assuming that that's what Jagex are introducing it for, but we'll see how it actually works when it comes and gets released into the game. Of course, that will mean that for example, if it's a 5% tax on anything that you earn, then it could potentially mean that if you spend 1000 GP, you'll be spending 50 GP. Jagex have pushed back the release of the DefCOS and Grand Exchange tax update because they've said that there was a lot of concerns from the player base. Me and you, we're the ones that actually have to play the game, and of course that's exactly what they've done. They've pushed it back to 2023 because they want to make sure that the implementation of this is in line with what people want, what we want. And of course, let me know whether you think the Grand Exchange tax update is a good idea and what you think about the DefCOS idea and what Jagex are kind of thinking of doing with all of that. So yeah, that would be interesting to see your comments in the comment section down below. There will also be a launch of a new storyline into RuneScape, so we'll be seeing lots of new quests coming out within the content that we'll be seeing on top of that, and this is something that will be pretty interesting because maybe it'll tie into the whole new skill that's coming out. Now, talking about kind of skilling, it's time for us to basically find out that yes, Jagex will be releasing a new skill next year, so it's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually are going to do. And of course, we can all see what sort of things you think it might be. Of course, people have always said about sailing and all of these random stuff. But I feel like that's what ports was. But essentially, it'll be interesting to see which way Jagex go. Is it going to be a more combat-based skilling, or is it going to be something that is more traditional to a buyable skill? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be interested to see if they bring in something like necromancy, for example, where it's like a elite skill that combines, I don't know, herb lore and magic or something random like that. It'd be kind of interesting to see some elite skills, much like invention, where you require smithing, crafting, and yeah, it would just be interesting to see them introduce some more elite skills, and it will obviously be good for the future of the game, and of course the influx of players that always flock to the game when there's a new skill released. So not only is there a new skill, there is also some kind of changes that they're going to be doing as well as part of 2023. So we'll be seeing the new quests, there's new training methods that are coming out as well. So we've seen prehistoric Potteringtons, accidental fletching and firemaking training, and of course there'll be some extra stuff coming in at 2023 as well. So this is all very, very good stuff to see from Jagex themselves. I'm really looking forward to playing in 2023. I think that the new skill is definitely going to be interesting. Hopefully it is an elite skill, as I feel like that for me personally would be the kind of most interesting thing, or alternatively some form of combat skill would be also pretty cool. Don't forget, next week there will be the Fresh Start Worlds, and there'll be a whole video on Fresh Start Worlds coming very, very soon on the channel, going through our opinions, what the community are feeling like, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Of course, you can always leave your comments as well in this video, but I hope you join me back in some more RuneScape 3 videos coming soon, and of course, leave a like, subscribe, check out some of the other content where we've done tons of guides, and I hope that you join me there. Goodbye.